Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're doing one more episode of this, because I found out there was another ending, and
This is also something I wasn't aware of.
That we were doing another episode, or that there was another
I
ending?
thought there's another ending.
Assuming I got this right. Assuming I didn't flounder something along the way. Also, what was it you said between episodes?
So, is it just me, or does it look like Yuri and Natsuki are kind of checking out Sayori's ass there?
It might be. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Also, I'm going to have some talking points
Good.
later regarding the game stuff in it. So let me load... Oh, this thing. And the static effect. It turns out it's because of OBS.
Oh, okay.
Because I was playing this on my own to discover more stuff, try to get to the second ending.
Yeah.
And the panel came up fine. The static effect was staticky. It didn't black out.
Okay.
But apparently when OBS is open, it messes with it like this, and
Okay.
probably also has to do with the blacked out,
Yeah.
whatever it is. The static. Static. Okay, so at this point, now what I had to do was... There was a bit of work. Okay, so you go through the first part of the game, you follow Sayori's path,
Okay.
you stop and you save before you walk into her room where she's hung herself.
Okay.
Start the game over. Follow Yuri, do her path. Stop before you get to before Sayori hangs herself.
Okay.
Start again. Go through Natsuki's path. Do all of that, then play through the game normally.
Okay.
Sayori hanging herself, game gets all fucky, all that stuff, delete Monica, etc.
Get knocked out while you're aboard the SSN so that it doesn't leave.
Knocked out?
Yeah. Or to
Oh,
use an escape rope.
Okay, I remember. I get what you're talking about. All right, I see. But no, the fuck, lost my train of
And
thought.
Monica will be under a truck.
Thank you, and you have to use strength to push it.
Yeah.
But you also have to have surf so you can get to the other side. Okay, that's enough outdated references. Okay, so by this point,
Give us a like if you get it.
By this point, we've already erased everything. We've gone through the last time loop. We're coming up to the point where Sayori says, "Thank you for removing Monica."
Okay.
All right, so would you like to kick us off here?
I guess the meeting's over, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along.
Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Thick and Chunky.
You think so? Well, everyone seems to get along a little better with you around, Sayori.
Aw, Thick and Chunky. Don't say something like that. It's embarrassing.
Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me you were starting a club. I think you're pulling it off just fine.
We're gonna make it the best club ever. Now that you joined, every day is gonna be so much fun. Hey, Thick and Chunky. I really want to thank you.
And the music stopped.
Oh, good.
This is usually when we get that last revelation.
Where Missing No jumps in and...
Right.
Sorry, I had to.
Can we move on, please?
I'm really happy that you joined the club and everything. But the truth is, I already knew you were going to. Hee hee. It's actually something else. I want to thank you for spending so much time with us all. You worked so hard to make each and every one of us happy. You comforted us through hard times. And you helped us all get along with each other. Do you get it, Thick and Chunky? Because I'm president now, I understand everything. You really didn't want to miss a single thing in this game, did you? You saved and loaded so many times just to make sure you could spend time with everyone. Only someone who truly cares about the literature club would go that far.
For real, I thought I messed something up. So I was scared when I clicked that one thing, she was going to be like, "Thank you for getting rid of Monica." Static.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
But all along, that's all I ever wanted. For everyone to be happy and to care about each other. It's kind of sad, you know? Aw. After all you've done for us, there isn't much I can do for you in return. We've already reached the end of the game. So, this is where we say goodbye. Thank you for playing Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm gonna miss you, Thick and Chunky. Come visit sometime, okay? We'll always be here for you. We all love you.
Oh. Then from this point
Aw.
it goes to the... Yeah, I like that.
Yeah!
A little... But this is where the... Because I think when we recorded this part, the volume was kind of low.
Yeah.
So you couldn't hear... Hold on. Hello. kind of worried this isn't picking up on the mic.
Yeah. Just trying to, like, I'm looking at the image as it scrolls, and my brain's trying to piece together what image I'm looking at. I know who it is, but, you know.
Yeah. But trying to, like, mentally figure out what,
yeah.
like, what the picture itself is.
Unscrambling the Rubik's Cube, as it were.
I mean, I guess you could call it that. Maybe. But most of this is going to be more or less the same.
Yeah.
Except you're going to notice something a hair different. But while this is going through, I do kind of want to touch on one of the talking points, at least one, that I wanted to hit.
Okay.
So, you know how when the morning of the festival, you know, your main character leaves without Sayori, and they see that one poem, as it were.
Yeah.
The get out of my head poem. They flip out and they like run to Sayori's and saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have left her."
Yeah.
Apparently, according to a tweet by Dan Salvato himself, apparently she hung herself before the main character even wakes up.
Yeah.
So you knew that?
I assumed that she went home and did it.
I didn't know. I thought it was like she did it because you didn't go with her that morning.
And
I thought that was the final straw or something.
And in my head, the theory is completely confirmed by Monica saying, "You really left her hanging this morning, huh?"
Right, but I wasn't sure if that was just like an off line from her, or if it really was. Oh, by the way, she's already dead. Have fun.
Also, all the art's in color. Nice.
Also, all the art doesn't delete itself.
Yep. But yeah, that one, I get where that's coming from, but it also helps that I've gone through this game multiple times through multiple people, and so that part always just clicked with me as she did it at night.
Now, I do want to mention, because she said, Sayori said something, how she knows because she's the president. Something we had actually discussed off camera was, at first we thought that it was the club that was making people self-aware, but I'm pretty sure it's just specifically the spot of the president.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is still unaware, and Sayori was unaware until she got that spot. Then all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh my god, I know everything."
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm pretty sure it's not just being there, because that's not really a thing. Now, going through some of the poems that you write to people, the girls write to you, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, a couple things I noticed. If you lean all the way onto either Yuri or Natsuki, you know how in the last day they normally write a poem about the beach?
Yeah.
Instead, they each write a poem that sort of leans toward you.
Okay.
Or like your relationship toward them.
Yeah.
Like, Natsuki's is about you specifically, and Yuri's is more about, like, how you make her feel more normal.
It's still deleting.
Right. Oh, it's still deleting?
Yep.
Well, that stinks. Sayori, didn't you just say, "Oh, come by and stop by sometime, we'll miss you," and whatnot?
Oh.
Okay, this one. Do you want to read this, or you want me to?
I'll get it. To the special player who achieved this special ending. For years, I have been enamored by the ability of visual novels, and games in general, to tell stories in ways not possible using traditional media. Doki Doki Literature Club is my love letter to that. Games are an interactive art. Some let you explore new worlds. Some challenge your mind in broad new ways. Some make you feel like a hero or a friend, even when life is hard on you. Some games are just plain fun, and that's okay too. Everyone likes different kinds of games. People who enjoy dating games, they're dating sims, may have a heightened empathy for fictional characters, or they might be experiencing feelings that life has not been kind enough to offer them. If they are enjoying themselves, then that's all that matters. That goes for shooting games, casual games, sandbox games, anything. Preferences are preferences, and our differences are the reason we have a thriving video game industry. My own favorite games have always been ones that challenge the status quo. Even if not a masterpiece, any game that attempts something wildly different may earn a special place in my heart. Anything that further pushes the limitless bounds of interactive media. I extend my true gratitude to all those who have taken the time to achieve full completion. I hope you enjoyed playing it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you for being a part of my literature club. Love, Dan Salvato.
And go get some help. Your game messed me up in some ways. But
Weirdly, you say it messed you up in some ways. I just wanted to add that I don't have many talking points.
script files missing across. Please install the game.
This game actually helped me through some stuff. This game came out shortly after I'd had my my stroke-alike thing that kind of put me out of sorts for a while, and massive depression came with the medication they had to put me on, and nothing was helping, and it felt like every little thing was just piling it on worse and worse and worse. And one of the only things I had was coming here to try to record, but even then, I would listen to myself, hear that I sounded so much different than I did 6 months prior just because of all the meds and stuff I was on, and even that was like, dang it, I'm screwing it up, you know. So like going through this, watching other people go through it, and just kind of, in a way, having that empathy that he said that characters might have for the fictional characters, seeing them get through it and helping them through the things, or trying to at least, even if I failed, made me feel better. And I think that's one of the cool things about this game, is that one person might be horrified, but the other person might look past the horror and see the humanity of the characters. And,
oh, don't get me wrong, I see that too.
oh yeah.
I'm also very much still seeing shit like people static out of existence.
I'm just imagining you trying to hug the other 3 girls and like just pointing at Monica and just shaking your head angrily at her.
But going back to some of the relationship poems. So something I noticed is if you actually get like a ridiculously low amount of words for one particular character,
Yeah.
they'll seem more dejected when you try to get them to read your poem.
Aw.
Like, there was one, I was going through, I think it was Natsuki's route, and I had no words for Yuri. So by the time I gave her my poem, she wouldn't talk. She just, like, turned away the whole time. She just locked onto that. You know that pose where she has her head to the side, she's all blushing, and, like, she just didn't want to talk. And my guy was like, she seems a little bit off today. Maybe I shouldn't talk to her. I'll show my poem to someone else.
Yeah.
But Natsuki's was great, though. Because I was going for someone else, so when I tried to give it to her, it's like, Natsuki, here's my poem. I don't like it. But you didn't even read my poem. Next! It just, like, immediately threw me out.
I mean, further proof that Natsuki's the best character in the game.
That is awful. I fucking hate her.
I love it.
Speaking of which, because you said that because you knew what Natsuki had been through, you had more sympathy toward her.
Yeah.
I started to have sympathy toward her, but as I kept going down her route, she kept going to, like, physical violence. Like, she keeps hitting the main character.
Yeah, that's not okay.
And it's really difficult for me to have any kind of sympathy for someone like that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why I wish your character had the option to confront her about that specific point.
because I told you, like, between episodes, I mentioned an anime that a character similar to that almost completely ruined the series for me.
Yeah.
This anime series called Familiar of Zero. There's coincidentally enough, a pink-haired female lead that, you know, she acts all mean to the main character, but then the main character will do something nice. She starts to act nice, but then immediately she's back to beating him up again.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stand that person, and I kept seeing it in Natsuki, which made me hate her even more.
Yeah.
Even as the game's trying to, you know, get me to show sympathy, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get there. Okay, and now she's hitting the main character again. You lost me.
It might be due to the weird way that I empathize with people, but I see a lot of people do that, where they will kind of, they will superimpose character traits from other characters, or associate character traits with other characters, even because of the similarities. And I definitely get and respect why people would see that and have a problem with it. Like, this isn't a criticism of that view at all.
Right.
I've just never been able to do that. So, like, every single character I've ever experienced in my entire life, even multiple takes on the same basic idea, but presented differently, Mega Man, for example, just because that's one most people would know, I always take each character as an all-new, standalone entity. And, I mean, even with, you know, the thing I never shut up about, my Transformers love.
Okay.
You know, every series has an Optimus Prime, and every single one of them is different, even the ones that are voiced by the same actor.
Okay.
You know, because, like, Optimus Prime in the original series is more like an uncle. You know, he's, like, real friendly and helpful and the hero, but he also does his, like, good grief, kids these days kind of nonsense. And then you have the movie Optimus Prime, which will tear your face off and beat you to death with it.
See, I always thought it was just different timelines or universes or something.
It is, but at the same time, they are intended to also have some thread of similarity. Like in Japan, every single different take on Transformers is all one universe with just slightly different visual aesthetics.
Okay, now I do want to move on.
And they've written them together. Yeah, I know.
Move on, so it's not 10 minutes of Transformers in a Doki episode. Now, I do kind of want to go back to the, alone with Monica in the room thing.
Yeah.
So, apparently, if you just leave it, like Monica chats about some stuff.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like she is long-winded.
Yeah.
She goes on for a while, and I was actually going to try to set up another program and save file.
Yeah.
With just leave it on the Monica thing in case I want to go back just to see what kind of thing she says. The funny thing though, I had my Steam version of this game. We had it where we left it. The Monica's final letter, and then this one that we just finished right here.
Yeah.
I downloaded this from the main website, but apparently when I went back to the Steam one, because I have two different icons on my desktop.
Yeah.
It copied the info apparently, so it just picked up the Steam one where it is. So I guess I can only have one at a time because they're saved in two different places.
It might be that they do have a shared user folder somewhere on the computer.
Probably, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But again, with that same room, something else I was gonna mention. You said that you were disappointed that it didn't call out my name.
Yeah, because
it didn't name drop me.
Yeah.
Now, I think we actually discussed this between episodes, but apparently it only does one of two things. It'll either do the name thing where it says, "Oh, hey, Thick and Chunky," or "Do you go by Howie?" or whatever your name is, or it'll do the "Wait, you're recording this, aren't you?" and then do the jump scare. But the thing is, it only does one of the two because if you are indeed recording, in case you have your real name or something else as your because it uses your computer's admin account, I think it was.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. And...
Yeah. But the funny thing, when I first got this computer, I didn't, instead of asking me for an administrator name or anything like that, and a main account name, it asked me to type in my email address to, sync some stuff, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, it never asked for a name after that. So it just kind of has I think a shortened version of my email address for the admin account. So it's "Oh, Thick and Chunky," or do you go by, it throws an email address a tastybitch69@AOL.com or whatever.
Oh yes,
thinking, yeah, that's what my mom named me. You got it, Monica. You nailed it.
Ah yes, Spankmaster 5000, a famous and noble line.
Oh God.
Sorry to give away your name there.
Oh man, it's fine. I mean, I'm quite proud of the family name. Also, kind of jumping tracks. The timeline thing, it doesn't have quite as much emphasis as we thought. Because remember when we did the first loop and Yuri was like, "Oh my God, your poetry is amazing. Were you amazing at this the whole time? Have you been practicing this?"
Yeah.
It's not actually because of the timeline.
Okay.
Apparently, Yuri just always thinks that your first poem is really good, and apparently, you're shoehorned into Yuri's path no matter what.
Okay.
Because when I tried to redo it on my own time, I tried to go Natsuki, but she kept saying that my poems were average or they're okay, or anything like that.
The game definitely wants you to go Yuri.
Yeah, it forces you into it. And Yuri's even saying, "Oh, it's amazing. This is even better than before." And she's talking it up, even though I might never get any words for Yuri on that thing. Speaking of poems, remember the secret poem that said, "Stare at this spot for a secret message"?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it literally wanted me to stay on that screen. When it said "stare at that spot" and I clicked it, that's what I thought it meant.
Okay.
Apparently, you're supposed to keep it on that screen, and after a little bit of time, the dot turns into a tiny little "I love you" in really small font, and then you're supposed to move on. Because right after that we got the Easter egg with the red and all the bloody veins and shit. So that's what I thought it was it would give me that. I thought that was the message, and it wasn't. But speaking of which, one of the last things I want to touch on, Easter eggs. I'm actually really proud of this because watching someone else's playthrough, I found out that different Easter eggs have different probabilities.
Yeah.
Different chances of coming up. And apparently we got a really good roll on ours because we got a lot of rare...
great one.
Okay, so look, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so the red thing that I was mentioning, after that poem, there's only a 33% chance of that happening.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen. Natsuki getting the realistic mouth.
Yeah.
That only happens 25% of the time. Okay? Let me see. There were a few more. During the poems, when you're making the poems,
Yeah.
you know when the words get all glitchy?
Yeah.
Like, each word has a 1 in 400 chance, but with how many words they throw at you, it equals to about a 40% chance of getting that. So that was pretty cool. Here's one. Here's where we start getting into the rare ones. The hanging Sayori poster in the background.
Yeah.
That has a 1 in 6 chance of appearing anytime you're in the room, but since you go to the room so much, it kind of gives you a bunch of chances.
I wonder how many times we missed it.
Oh, that's a good question. Because I know we saw it the one time,
Yeah.
but I didn't really pay attention after that. I didn't think that it would come up again.
Also, that Easter egg is so mean.
Another thing, you kept telling me to save over and over.
Yeah.
Were you intending to give me an Easter egg? Because...
No.
Okay, because apparently, you remember when Monica first showed up in front of the text box, and you said, "Why don't you look at the history?" And it brought up that image.
Mm-hmm.
That image has a chance of coming up every time you go into any menu, including history or save. Because I started thinking it was suspicious. You kept telling me to save over and over, and I'm thinking there's got to be some reason for this. He doesn't tell me to save this often.
Well, I just know that there are a lot of choices in the game, and I also would notice when there would be long periods between saves, and knowing that, our luck.
Ape shit?
Yeah. I was more worried that something was going to go wrong and the game would close, or something would happen and we would lose and have to repeat a bunch of stuff.
That Monica screen that showed up for a split second only has a 2% chance of occurring every time you go into the menu.
Damn.
All right, now here's the one I'm the most proud of, because through choices of YouTube channels to watch on my own and ones you've recommended to me, I have not seen this anywhere else. The freaky little Yuri that appeared at the bottom has less than a 1% chance of showing up.
And we got it our first time through.
She never showed up in any other channel, okay? Now, not only does she only have less than a 1% chance, if she appears specifically during the third poem, there is only a chance, it's a possibility, not guaranteed, that rather than, the already there Yuri in the bottom left, we'll do that, and instead make the duplicate Yuri that we got.
So we got the rarest
We got the rarest ones, yes. And a bunch of other really good ones. So as far as Easter eggs go, I think we got a really good roll on that.
And for full transparency, I wasn't trying to push you towards anything with the game. I wasn't trying to guide our play at all. I was actually trying to avoid guiding you to areas that I knew would happen. The only thing that I wanted you to be fully aware that was coming was that one
the jump scare. Yeah.
Because I'd seen that one, and
I don't deal with jump scares.
Yeah.
Jump scares ruined our playthrough of Prey.
Yeah. And I will admit, though, that between the two, I actually kind of liked the, wait, am I being recorded, a lot more than it just simply knowing your name.
Yeah.
I mean, both are clever, and both are creepy, but I like the idea that one of them also, doesn't just call us out, but also says hi to our loving fans.
Also, one Easter egg we didn't get, but I do need to address this because we actually had wrong info. You said during the poem, keep looking at the bottom left because a little Sayori would come up.
Yeah.
It was actually a little Monica.
Okay.
Because I saw it on someone else's playthrough. I think it was Pro Jared, and I saw a white bow.
Okay.
So it is not Sayori. And one more thing, there was a joke you told that I still crack up every time I hear it. Every time I hear it, shortly, before the game goes all weird, and Yuri's at our house, and our guy's stupid enough to stab himself with a knife on the finger, and he walks out to go get water. You just, as a dumb throwaway joke, you say, "Don't make sure you don't cut yourself on the water." I still lose my shit every time.
I don't even remember saying it, so you're welcome.
Oh no, I remember it quite well.
It's just, the thing is I know why I said it now, because that feels like the sort of thing somebody would yell at me given my history, because I once put my hand on the carpet, and when I picked my hand up from the carpet at work, a tiny piece of skin had gotten caught on the carpet, and it unzipped the palm of my hand.
On the carpet?
It just tore a tiny little thin line of skin out of my hand, and I just started bleeding like I'd sliced my hand open.
Was something in the carpet, or did you manage to cut yourself on fabric?
The fabric itself managed to get a tiny little piece of, I guess, like, old dried skin on the palm of my hand, and held onto it like Velcro, and then just unzipped my hand.
Okay, alright, I didn't want to get into that territory.
And people have constantly made fun of me for the fact that I could injure myself that way. So, like, me yelling, "Don't cut yourself on the water," it came out as PTSD from my coworkers making fun of me.
Alright. Well,
it didn't even hurt.
Alright, that was a whole lot of talking points that I wanted to bring up. Did you have anything that you wanted to bring up?
I really agree with what he says about visual novels, because I used to make fun of visual novels. I used to think, what's the point? I mean, there's no gameplay here. I even know what... But the worst part is, I know what my first visual novel was, and the first time I played it, it snapped and I got it. And that was the Phoenix Wright games. I
guess that could be...
They're lighter than your average visual novel fare. There's a little more interactivity to it, but I found myself wanting to get past the interactive stuff to get to the reading.
Okay.
And then it clicked. And my wife has tons of these games, and there's so many different ones out there. I just had some recommendations for people who have enjoyed this and our previous visual novel that we played, our Hatful Boyfriend.
Yeah.
If you like these and you like them with a darker bent that they tend to take, I highly recommend the Danganronpa games, which are like Doki Doki by way of Phoenix Wright. This is the best way to describe it.
Aren't those like someone gets murdered, you're supposed to figure out who did it?
Or find a way to get yourself off by making someone else look bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why, can you be assigned the killer, or...?
I don't know entirely. I haven't played them. I just know that's something that's come up. My wife loves the games.
Okay.
There's one called Nurse Love Addiction. I may have mentioned it before.
That one... Okay, I remember you said there is definitely... some people definitely get killy in that.
Yeah, it definitely goes south.
There's... From your description that you told me, off camera, it doesn't get adult, does it?
No, there's no... Well, I take it back. There is one relationship in the game that is a BDSM relationship that might actually... It's implied that it might be one-sided, and that one person is simply victimizing the other with their kink.
I meant more like, is there, nudity and adult content? Explicit. Is this something that I should not... Something that it should never be put on YouTube, basically.
No, there's no nudity.
Okay.
I imagine the PC version or the Japanese original might have it, but I know the version that I've played and the version that's coming to the Switch soon, because it's coming out on the Switch, that makes me happy.
Good.
It's the censored version, from what I understand.
Okay.
And then if you prefer them to be more the lighter side, like some of the funnier elements of Hatful Boyfriend or before the insouthening that occurs in this game,
right?
I actually recommend Code Realize. That one's a very sweet series about a girl who her skin is poisonous, and if she touches anyone, they die.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's really sweet, and there are different steampunk guys, and there was an ad for the game where the guy jokingly refers to them all as steam hunks, and I can't unhear
God
it.
damn it.
So, Code Realize and Wintertide Miracle or whatever it is. It's a good series. There's tons more out there. The Vita is the best place in the world to get visual novel games that aren't just smut games.
That is a very dead system.
Yes, but it's still a great place to get them, and they're still releasing them on the Vita.
All right.
And it's almost entirely visual novels at this point. They're getting new releases on the Vita.
Jesus. Okay. All right. I think, we ended up talking a bit more than maybe I planned. So
but it was nice having a very special episode to wrap things up.
Sort of like a cool down with this. Yeah, it was. Just because this game brought a lot of talking points between plot things, Easter eggs and whatnot. This was fun.
Yeah. And
I feel like I might end up springing the $10 for the fan pack.
Yeah.
Because the game itself was free,
mm-hmm.
but I went on the Steam page and I saw that they had a fan pack. I think it was a soundtrack with additional remixes or something. They had wallpapers, just a bunch of extras that don't really affect gameplay. But fucking Dan Salvato did all this and he didn't get paid for it. I feel like he deserves some money at least. Even if I don't use anything in the fan pack, I feel like I should just buy it to throw money at him.
There's also the main Doki Doki Literature Club store. The stuff's a little on the pricey side, but everything feels worth it. And then he also now has an official fan store
where fans create stuff, sell that stuff, they get a cut, he gets a cut because
That's neat.
it's his, and
Right.
it's all really good stuff. I'm glad that he has embraced the massive amount of like headcanon fandom out there
Yeah.
for this series, because boy, are there some headcanons for this game. Tell us your favorite in the comments.
Like the one about Yuri and Natsuki being in lesbians with each other.
Oh, that's not fan fiction. That is fact.
It's verified.
Yeah, it's just like
it's verified on Twitter.
yeah, like and Natsuki grows up to become a world heavyweight champion.
Brian,
What?
do you know what? You know what? No, I'm not gonna.
Don't encourage him.
This episode's gone on long enough. We will be playing something else tomorrow.